Welcome to the video course on programming in C++ object-oriented programming, or OOPS in short. Welcome to the course. In this video, in this introductory video, we will talk about the contents of the upcoming course, which means we'll talk about all the topics that you're about to learn, and also we'll discuss why exactly learning C++ is a good idea and what are the various benefits that you're going to take from this course. So, first of all, let's discuss the importance of this course, the importance of C++. Well, firstly, this course will give you an introduction to programming, even if you are an absolute beginner. So let's say that you want to get started with programming and you want to do so using C++. In that case, this video course is absolutely perfect for you. And that's because the entirety of this course is tailored to be as hands-on and as practical as possible, so as to allow everyone to understand exactly how a program is made or run. As you will further notice in the upcoming videos of the course, that most of the topics that we study them by basically trying to implement them in C++. We study them by basically making programs. So if you're an absolute beginner, and if you get scared about making programs in C or C++, then this video course will help you get over that fear so that you will be able to start writing your own programs on your own. Secondly, this course has both the basics of programming in C++ followed up with the more nuanced topics like the object-oriented programming systems, or OOPS in short. Now, OOPS is a very powerful tool, and as you were about to learn in the good second part of this course, there are numerous functionalities that are added in the OOPS type programming, in the object-oriented programming. So this video course will not only give you a very good fundamental base, but it will also help you build upon that by learning object-oriented programming in C++. Furthermore, by the end of this course, you will be able to solve real-world problems using programming. You will develop a sense for problem solving. You will develop a knack for problem solving. And once again, we will reach that by learning to solve any problem that we see around us. Whenever we study a new topic, we try to think how we can use that topic to solve a problem in the real world. What if I want to find out the roots of an quadratic equation? Well, I can do that manually with hand. It'll take me like 40 to 50 seconds. Or I can just make a program for it. So even if I have to find root for like 10 or 20 equations, I don't take 15-20 minutes to solve them. I just have one program ready and I input the values of the quadratic equation, and in less than a second I get the output. In less than a second I get all the roots. So we saw a problem in real life that we humans can solve manually, but it takes us some time, and we can speed up that process by making a program of it. And we will have a look at many such problems in this course, and hopefully through those problems you yourself will also learn how to look at real world problems from a programmer's perspective, so as to try and solve them using programming. Now let's discuss the contents of this course. Well, we have 11 broad units, starting with the first unit called the basics, or the introduction to programming in C++. This unit will get you started with programming in C++. It will help you understand the basic structure of a C++ program and the basic syntax around it. So you will get to learn about variables, about various data types available in C++, and also about how to take basic input and output from the user. In the second unit, we talk about loops and other basic data structures. So we get familiarized with pointers, we get familiarized with arrays, which is an ordered list, and we learn about loops. Loops, by the way, a very powerful tool in programming. In Unit 3, we talk about strings and about the two most common ways of implementing strings in C++. In Unit 4, we talk about functions, about how we can compartmentalize our program. We can have certain functionality as a separate entity by making functions of it. And then in unit 5 and onwards, we start learning the concept of object-oriented programming. So the first 4 units, they are meant to give you a foundation of programming in C++. So they are your foundation, they are your basic building blocks. Based on this knowledge, you will further build upon and learn about the nuanced topics in object-oriented programming like classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, and so on. So in the unit 5, you learn about the object-oriented programming paradigms and you learn about classes and objects. In the next unit, in the 6th unit, we learn about polymorphism and about how you can have function overriding or function overloading. And then in units 7 and 8, we learn about inheritance and abstraction respectively. These two, once again, are very important topics in object-oriented programming. In unit 9, we talk about the concept of exception handling. So we will be making a lot of programs and we are training ourselves in such a way that afterwards we will be able to make larger modules, larger programs on our own, more complex programs. So in complex programs, we encounter errors very often. So how do we deal with those errors, especially when they happen in the runtime from the user's perspective? Well, that's what exception handling is about. And then in unit 10, we talk about streams, how you can have an external file and take input and output from that file. So usually we'll be making programs where the user inputs some value, we do some processing, and we give some output. But what if we want to save some data onto an external file so that we can keep that saved for later? In other words, let's assume the following case. You are making the program to solve the roots for a quadratic equation, and your program will receive like 100 equations and you want to store all the answers of those 100 equations. Well, you can do that once again by using file output. So whenever you calculate the roots, you can save that in an external file and so on. So once the program is done, you just open that external text file and in that you see all the question and answers ready for you. And then of course the last unit is STL of C++, the standard template library of C++. Now this is a very important topic because once you have learned the basics of programming, once you have learned OOPS, you need to learn the shortcuts, the inbuilt, the predefined data structures and algorithms that are already built into the C++ programming language, and how we can use them to basically reduce the time while making a more broader complex program. So from units 1 up until unit 10, we will learn about all the possible programming functionalities that you can implement, and we'll implement them on our own from scratch. In unit 11, however, we will look at how we can use the already existing such structures in C++. So that will help us save our time and will help us solve problems more efficiently, because some of these algorithms defined in the STL, they are a lot faster than the algorithms that we might be able to formulate. So this last unit teaches us the use of this STL, a key topic especially for those who want to get started with competitive programming. So those were the 11 units for this video course. At the end of every course, we also have some assignments, some program assignments, and we also have some solutions for them. So if you run into any problem while trying to solve them, you have these videos as a way to guide them through them. So we would hope that all the assignments you're able to do without watching the solution, or in case you want to look at the other ways about how the same program can be approached, or you want to basically understand the problem, then those solution videos are a great use for you. So now that was it for this introduction video. I hope that you were excited to get started with C++, and I hope that for the duration of this course, you stay excited and that you keep learning something new. So now, I will see you in the next video where we set up our software, Visual Studio Code, in which we will be doing our programming for the rest of the course. So, I'll see you there.